Hi, I'm Evan.
Hi, I'm Colby.
And this is
The Filtered Podcast.
Thank you for joining us on our journey.
Where we'll give a taste of life,
Christ,
and some of our craziest stories.
So please join us on our life through the Christian lens.
Where several friends will join us along the way.
Hopefully you take something away from us.
But enough of that. Roll the tape. Welcome back to the Filtered Podcast.
I'm Evan.
And I'm the only Colby.
The only Colby should really watch what he says before countdown.
What was so bad about what I said?
Say it.
I know, I'm not saying it. Now you got me questioning myself. I just know it's a meme.
No, that explains all that I have to say.
Gosh, what? Either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain, I guess. Jeez.
Okay.
What was that? Bro just gave me the evil look.
Well, welcome back to Trench.
Bro, what? Evan's making a big deal out about nothing.
2024 recap.
Yeah, that's this episode. We're dropping right before the end of the year and talking about the blessings that was 2024 and maybe give a hope of what we think 2025 is going to be. Evan is cracking. You would think it's 1 a.m. when we're recording, but it's 8.
All right. 2024.
What was your favorite moment from 2024?
2024. Probably the beginning of the year. I started doing taking recording seriously. So I'll probably say my first video that I produced was my favorite time of 2024. My second favorite probably was me building a wakeboard during school.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I got into disc golf.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was really fun. I'm still addicted.
One time, the day before I left for camp, Evan and I disc golfed at night.
Did.
I had the best round I've ever had in my life. I went 2 under, something crazy like that. I was nailing these things sniper style. Couldn't even see the basket.
In the middle of our game, we lose my disc for 30 minutes, and we look down, and there it is.
Look down, and I'm standing on it.
Yeah, that was so frustrating.
We'd easily walked over 3 or 4 times, but that was a 45-minute side adventure that just went.
Yeah.
Adventure.
2024, we also, Clyde was the first interviews with Colby.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
That was a highlight video and a half. They gave me a microphone and said, we're rolling, and I walked around for 15 minutes and got probably the best content for any video of all time.
It was great.
And it's only really funny to the 4 people that made it, and everybody else got to sit through the torture.
Well, yeah, because we had to torturally go through all of it and edit it in one day.
There was no fat to be trimmed from that video. They somehow cut 5 minutes off of the 15-minute runtime.
Somehow.
And even still, that was probably some of the best content.
This year, I also did my first polar plunge into a lake with my friend Dallas.
Where would you else polar plunge?
I don't know. Where would you?
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, and then I asked you the same question.
Welcome to the Filtered Podcast, where you lose brain cells sometimes.
Podcast.
All right, leave me alone.
I'm going through pictures right now, trying to jog my memory on what happened.
I switched to iPhone.
He did do that.
Mainly just because I wanted FaceTime. Not a huge fan.
Wasn't there something else that happened? I think
For why I switched?
Yeah,
No, I just came back from camp.
gotcha.
I wanted FaceTime so I could talk to my camp peoples. Also, oh my gosh, why is my phone flashlight going off? What? My other phone was just old, and the battery lasted for about 3 hours. So time to make the switch.
Yeah, this year was also very impactful because, well, I shouldn't get back. I shouldn't go into that. That will be a conversation after we talk about all the recaps.
Tease.
Because I would love to do that. I also learned ukulele fully this year. That was a fun little thing. It was a fun little
Southern twang of the Hawaii nature.
Probably one of my favorite parts was when Colby left.
He likes it when I leave. He really hesitated.
Just kidding. Kidding.
My favorite.
That was actually one of my worst parts because.
Oh, he missed me.
I miss you going to Momentum.
That's fair.
Because we only did that for like 1 year.
Well,
and that's when I started dating somebody.
Yeah.
And then we just didn't really hang out.
Well, I mean, you came into the room and
screamed.
Yeah, Evan came into the leader's room fully asleep and was yelling at us that he couldn't breathe.
And then I went back to bed.
And we were just staring at him like, what? What do we do? He's saying he can't breathe, but he's very obviously breathing.
I can't breathe.
And then eventually he wakes up and goes, I'm so sorry, and then runs away. And by the time I get out to the hallway, he's already in his room. I'm like, well, I think he's okay. 4 years later, he's still here, so he was okay.
I mean, I also graduated. Got my GED.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
That was the most
fun.
awkward thing I've ever been a part of, and I work at an elementary school.
Tough. This year, I got into wedding videography. That was fun. I did that with Jesse Harmeyer. That was cool. I did 6 weddings during the summer, which
6.
When you reach this age or your 20s or like when you graduate, you realize everybody's getting married and you're just going to have to tough it through and just do their weddings or even go to their weddings and be happy.
It's snowing.
Anyway, we also our band 909 Collective
dropped our second
album, Faithful, which was amazing. Tristan did a great job on that.
Amen.
We did a live recording, which we're still waiting on video for.
One day.
Me and Colby went to Behold.
Yeah.
It was also really fun, very powerful.
Long day.
Very long day. For me, 2 very long days. Especially when I had to drive back to Warsaw in the morning for service.
Long day.
Yeah.
Remember when we decided, it will be easier if you spend the night at the apartment and then we'll just get up and leave early? And then my alarm doesn't go off and Evan's just calling me from the car.
Like, hey, I didn't know which side of the bed you slept on. I didn't want to wake up.
Which side of the bed? You mean which bed that I slept
on? Yeah. That sounds so bad. Sorry, Blake.
For context, me and my roommate have in our apartment separate beds, but we both have them in the same room to maximize apartment space. My bed's on the right side of the room. His bed's on the left side of the room. There's a very large gap. But
sorry.
Gosh.
This was around the same time that my house got destroyed on Chapman Lake.
That was a crazy phone call.
And then it was also the same time that I started recording, like trying to do videos on my iPhone because I just got the 16.
Shot by iPhone.
I know, right? Then I went to Ohio, which, not gonna lie, kind of sucked. But
what's Ohio?
I did go with Mitchell, and we played disc golf, and I gotta say, they do have some good courses.
It's Ohio.
Other than the courses, maybe a
0 out of 3 recommend Ohio.
5 out of 8.
I've yet to hear a good experience about Ohio.
Yeah. Don't go.
Boo.
Then we also, that was this. So I came back, and that was the same day that Colby did a sermon on that Sunday.
Oh, I forgot about that. that was
I have a lot of pictures of you.
Yeah, I asked Evan to get a photo of me.
A photo, and I got like every shot.
He was like basically recording it, but through photos.
Yep. And then me, producer Jackson, and Colby went to a camp called we went
Lakewood.
to Lakewood for a camp that Sunrise Church was a part of. Not Sunrise Church. Sunrise.
Yeah. Ooh, I just hit the microphone into my face.
Forget I said that. We went to a camp. It was really fun. We did a video with TB.
Sure did.
Which, amazing.
Scariest doc thing I've ever been on.
Then we went to a coffee house. I'm saying that right.
Coffee and cream. Right?
And yeah. And me and Colby did our intro to season 2, which we also filmed on iPhone and found out that we could take out all the extra noise from the background and just have it like that, and that was amazing.
Evan was a real big nerd.
No, it was me and Jackson that were being big nerds.
I was distracted by Michigan football.
You were very distracted by Michigan football.
Saturdays, Michigan football days. That's all my bandwidth.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have Freedom Night.
That night is free.
Indeed.
For those who don't know, Freedom Night, giant worship night that we put on. Giant, fun,
very
worship.
Fun.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would worship.
Yeah. 10 out of 10
as long as it's not
worship.
in Ohio.
True.
Evan's just saying basically every major event that happened in the fall.
No? Well, just not getting through November.
Yeah.
He's
just looking at his photos to try and remember what happened.
I take pictures a lot, and it helps me jog my memory. So I started doing videos for producer Jackson. I helped him with photos for football games and stuff, and that was really fun. And then my first night was the same night that the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight was happening. I really loved the buffering. That was my favorite part of the whole.
Well, that's the only part you could watch.
I mean, it was my favorite part.
It was buffering the entire time.
And then I did a photo shoot for Colby and Blake.
Oh yeah.
For their Christmas card.
Oh yeah.
That was also really fun. Then we had a really fun threefold. If you don't know what threefold is, Colby will explain it to you.
Oh, I get to explain it?
Yeah, because I've been talking the whole time.
Oh, I can share about things about my life. Threefold, basically just special communion. It's a celebration in 3 parts. Oversimplifying it, but
it's fun.
I doubt many people really care about me delving into
the
rabbit trail that will be about threefold.
The Thanksgiving happened.
Big what?
I said Thanksgiving happened.
Oh, Lions, baby.
And that was the infamous Ohio State and Michigan game.
Hey, that's part of my year recap. Save that one for me.
Okay. But that was the same time that Warsaw went to state, which was last week, and really fun. I made a video. That was great.
They didn't win.
They didn't win, but it was cool that they finally went to state.
They didn't win, though.
I
only cheer for winners. And the Angels.
But yeah, that's my year in review. What about you, Colby?
The Murray's year in review. Whoa, raining? I think it started raining. That was really weird. I started at the elementary school that I work at to this day. And man, is that a wild ride. There is so much that happens there every single day. I'm pretty convinced that it's not real. Just about how off the wall it is sometimes. That it's just a bunch of hired actors. And they're videotaping my reaction to one day release as a show.
I mean, you're getting paid for it, so.
So, I mean,
why not?
I don't know. I could be right. I doubt I am, but I love it. Kids are crazy. Working in elementary school, 10 of 10 would recommend. Shortly after I started at the elementary school, like 3 days later, Michigan football won the national championship, and I was on cloud 9 for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Nothing could faze me. It was awesome. Then regular life came back. Don't really think anything really happened for a large stretch after that. I went to camp for my second summer. That was awesome. I love camp. Camp is probably my biggest highlight of the year.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that Evan isn't there, but he Zoomed me a couple times, so that was fun. Came back. Worked 2 jobs. We're now on staff at the church. That's something that happened that we dropped the ball on. That's fun to finally have accomplished that. Lions football is amazing. That gives me a fun time on Sundays. Michigan football, subpar. That gave me not as amazing time on Saturdays. But even on our subpar season, Michigan can still beat Ohio State, no matter how good they are. So that gives me joy and excitement. That Michigan football can still beat Ohio State. But, Evan, what do you think was the number one thing God taught you this year in 2024? Sorry, I just really sprang that on him.
Being taught how to be more dependent on him. So, something that I was shown through this year was dependency. I had some rocky stuff for 7 months, from April to November, and a little bit still. But dependency and knowing that I can be dependent on the Lord was super, super tough and super hard. Because I have a personality of I want to stick with one person because they make me feel better about myself. Now, will I admit that to myself? No, but it's true that I need to have somebody that would be with be loving me each day, and I can go to at any time. And that's where the dependency on focusing on just the Lord happened. And I worked on that for 7 months while I was battling with another thing that I was also being dependent on. And then November came around, and that was the month where I just battled with that. And praise the Lord, that person isn't in my life as much anymore, sadly, but it gives me time to realize it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Lord is always with me.
Hmm.
If I allow him in my life, it gets better. So, long story short, dependency. How about you?
Trust the process. God has a plan. This kind of sums back to our talk about counting every blessing. Like, there's a purpose, there's a reason for what's happening. Just hold on, hold fast, and know that God's still good. I like this phrase, life sucks, but God is good.
Sucks. Get home.
That is another phrase that I don't like, but you know, or I don't like as much as mine. But
I like yours better.
Yeah, I'm biased. But you know, God is still good. All the time, He's good. Oh, I finished it. Oh gosh,
That was good.
But yeah, sometimes you gotta hang on, trust. Just know that He's working. I may not feel like it at the moment, but hang on. All right. And that is 2024 in a nutshell. Unless there's any other closing things. What was your other favorites of 2024? I know one of mine. Twisters.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about Twisters.
One of my favorite moments, Evan coming up and asking me if I wanted to go see Despicable Me 4, and I said, no, not a good movie. But you know what is a good movie, Evan? Twisters. And Evan goes, I don't want to watch that. And I yap his ear off till he goes, fine, let's go see Twisters.
Didn't we do that, like, spontaneously?
Yeah, it was pretty spontaneous.
It was, like, after a Sunday service, wasn't it?
I think it was after it was after some meeting in the
Because
afternoon.
I remember us walking over there.
Yeah.
There was a dinner.
It was a business meeting, I think.
It was a business meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were back there with Tristan.
Yeah. I yap his ear off, and then he goes, fine, whatever, we'll go to Twisters. And then we walk out, and he looks at me and goes, I'm glad you talked me into that. It was fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about. Sister gave me a Twisters poster for the media room. It's going to get hung up.
Yeah.
It's a Twisters poster. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I want you to love Twisters as much as I have
a second question. I need to get you off the tangent of Twisters.
No, I'm going to stay here.
Besides our last question, the two questions before, I guess, what specific moment in your life was the most impactful?
Like, of all my...
of 2024.
Oh, 2024. What was the most impactful? You want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. In January, I was recommended to go to this thing called spiritual counseling. It's a long process where somebody will counsel you through months and months of training to grow closer with the Lord. And I got recommended to it because I got to the point of my life where I asked, who am I? Now, it's, some people would say, oh, I'm this because of this. Or like, I'm the tech guy because I work at a church. But I got to the point where the question was, who am I? And my answer was, I don't know. And then if somebody would ask me, who am I in the eyes of the Lord? And I would say, I don't know. And so I went through months of spiritual counseling, and it was very impactful. A lot of tears, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of owning up to very difficult things that happened in my life. And it changed me. It changed me for the best, and it's a blessing. And it gave me the opportunity to come to the conclusion of, okay, I know who I am. I'm a son of the Lord. I'm a child of God. That's who I am. That's who I want to be each day as a child of God. And now the question that I get posed each day for myself is, how am I showing that, and how can I be more dependent on the Lord? So that was my conclusion of the whole thing. Very impactful, very deep, and very much one of the most important pieces of my life.
Yeah, for me, it was end of April, beginning of May. Had a family thing come up that kind of turned life on a head. And then the next week I left for camp. Didn't have time to think about any of it. And went to the other side of the country and went to a place that I was ready to give everything I had, but they instead picked me up when I needed them the most.
Yeah.
I think that was the most impactful section of my life. There were so many things that have happened in that 4-month span that I still haven't even fully thought about, of just all the people that cared and that walked with me alongside it. And a lot of the times people feel like they need an excuse to show you how much they care. And that's the thing that kind of stings. Like, birthday was kind of hard this year just because of emotions. And some people found out about that and they went out of their way to make it a little extra special than usual. And you know what? That kind of stinks that we need excuses as human beings to show how much we care for each other. It's like, oh, we can't be vulnerable unless it's like your birthday or Thanksgiving or something like that. Like, why do we have to wait for those moments to be vulnerable and show how much we mean to each other? Like, why can't we just do that most days? And that's something that I've really come away with this year of, like, man, why can't we just do this to each other all the time? Just care. Why do we have to mask it? I got really, really deep. But
2024.
All right. Book closed.
That was 2024.
Yeah.
Expectations, or what do you want to see come out of 2025? I want to see. I'll go first. No, actually, you go first. I went first the first time. Unless you need time.
Sorry, I've got a bunch of texts.
Do you need time?
What was the question again?
I said, what's your expectations, or what would you like to see in this upcoming year?
You see, that's a hard question for me to answer.
Yeah.
Because one thing I've learned from 2024 was to just let life happen as it happens. Hold it loosely. And you know what? The things that have happened, like last minute, like crazy, like the job that I have now and the family stuff that happened, and even where I'm at right now, has been stuff that just happened. Just blink of an eye, God just stepped in and made a way. In 2025, I'd like to step out, keep in this section of faith, this season of faith, and just be able to bless everyone else around me a lot more than I've been blessed in 2024. I want to be the person for everybody else. But you?
Probably more dependency. Yeah. I want to see the Lord move. I mean, it's not like I don't see him move. But more obvious, you know. I hope I can make that more obvious and just just know that the Lord has me in any season of life, especially next year. Because then next year will be a full year of me not having school, and it gives me another year to process what's new that I need to create in my life. Is it me still not having a full-time job? Is this something that I need to have my own apartment? Like the small things, but knowing that the Lord has me when all the critics are telling me another. Because we all have those people in our lives.
Yeah.
I have one. I have a few that tell me that I should be doing this instead of this, or secretly telling me it, and then me finding out from another person. It makes me cautious, and I want to keep trying to focus on the Lord has me where He wants me to be, and I need to focus on that. And so being aware of the critics is one of them.
Yeah.
There was another one. I'm trying to remember. But I'm blanking. Maybe strongly season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3 of the podcast. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Get to November, September.
Yeah.
See where we are.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get more people on here. Because we want to reach the community, and there are multiple ways we can do that.
Yeah.
Through momentum, through your camp. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Never know how you can do it. You never know how God's going to work. For me, I have one final season at camp. So we'll wrap that one up well. 5 expectation-wise.
Yeah, our old year in review. To see like what we talked about.
See how unprofessional we were.
Yeah. We say yeah a lot. I'm realizing.
Yeah.
Dang it. It says yeah, Sorry, that must have been really loud.
My other goal is that we become more professional.
Hopefully. And I'm just saying, it would be really fun to have a segment of Jackson. Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
More more Jackson content.
Yeah. But since do you think we kind of wrapped up our expectations? Or
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it's time to say this. It's been a blessing to have another year where we get to do this, the Filter podcast, and excitingly get to learn along the way with you guys through Christ's life.
Yeah.
And all of our crazy stories that we have along the way. I know I just quoted our intro, but I mean, hey, I didn't stutter that time. The improvements, right?
You should see that whole behind the scenes.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do for Christmas. I'll give you behind the scenes on everything.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a fun little blooper video.
If I remember. But it's a blessing that we get to do this. It's a blessing that we have kind of a team already, where Jackson is handling some of the social media. Colby is handling the organization of media being transferred to Spotify, YouTube, and all the other places, and double checking on all of our videos.
Kind of the management.
Yeah. And then just me trying to produce and publish to Colby and Jackson what's happening. Communication. And it's been fun. It's been a blessing. It's been great.
Yeah, sure has. It's been awesome. I just got a notification about our Spotify Wrapped for our podcast. And that's kind of fun. I've been really distracted.
Oh, good. Dude, I saw it today.
Yeah. We're a top 10 show for 15 people.
I saw that. I'm like, I don't know if I want to post this.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say. Top 5 for 12 people. So of the 15. And then for 4 people, we're their number 1 show on Spotify.
Great.
Although, interestingly enough, a little peek behind the scenes, we are better on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So. Spotify said we're not good at frequently publishing. So the other way to roast to Spotify. But yeah, I'm trying to see here if there's any useful data to share.
Let's honestly talk about our stats right now. I think that would be. You think?
A little fun behind the scenes.
Fun behind the scenes. If Evan doesn't press sign up instead of sign in, that would be great.
I mean, currently on Spotify we have 32 followers.
Yeah.
We're approaching almost 400 streams.
Really?
Mm-hmm. On Spotify. On Apple we have another 400, 500. So for all of you guys who in 2024 spent some time with us and listened to us, especially just because most of the times we just yap.
Yeah.
And who knows? We aren't the biggest podcast in the world, but thank you to those who spend the time to listen to us. And hopefully we've been helpful with your faith and pushing you and building some sort of community. But
and hopefully season 2 will help put a little bit of our perspective on Christianity and some of the things that as Christians we should be focusing on.
yeah.
We will never say this, ever.
What you're about to say it. I don't know what you're about to say.
We won't say this. We won't tell you to believe one thing just because we believe it. We are just giving you information.
Yeah.
We are.
In fact, it's important as Christians that just because someone tells you it's one way, it's important to kind of make sure that you do your research and your opinion behind it. Because we're not perfect, we're not always right.
No. And we talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care. We will tell you the hard crap. I wasn't going to say the other word. I was going to say hardships. Just ships. Yes.
We almost got cooked there.
It's fine. But
whoa.
The wind, man.
That is a weird wind sound.
Imagine if the glass went through.
That's really kind of trippy. That's kind of scary, I'm not going to lie. It is really storming outside. I think it's snow. But man, it is really making some scary sounds outside. We might be stuck here.
There is 100% chance of snow right now, 30-degree weather, and the wind right now is 22 miles an hour.
I'm sure everyone really cares about that. 40
miles per hour.
But
1 inch of snow tomorrow.
Let's go.
Yeah. But thank you for listening to that part.
Yeah, we're gonna start wrapping this up.
But yeah, thank you again so much for listening. Yeah. And
thank you for the almost 400 to 800 streams that we've gotten in the year, because we pretty much just been going this year.
Yeah.
So all of those have been from you guys this year, and that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't listened all the way, or if you only listened to a couple episodes, thank you for giving us your time. And hopefully you got something from it. And hopefully we become a better podcast for you in 2025.
We started on November 2nd.
Yep.
So thank you for almost a year, a month, a year and a month,
pretty much.
For listening and possibly subscribed.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for listening to the Filtered Podcast. If you want to watch more, or if you're interested, please like and follow. By now, we will be posting this possibly by Christmas.
Yep. In theory,
because right now we should be at our families or having Christmas with a friend or someone. Okay, but I do want to leave a little bit of advice. Okay, listen to your parents. Listen to Colby.
What?
I'm joking. Don't do that.
Whoa.
I'm going to start over. We're not editing this, by the way. This is going to be funny.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping that I will be posting fails around this time, too, for a Christmas present. So if I do, you're welcome. If I don't, comment, Evan, why didn't you post it?
If you think about it, that's just another fail.
True. That's true. But anyway.
There'll be probably a bunch of videos in there without sound.
Yeah.
Because we have pretty much all the video from every podcast that we've ever done, but most of the time it's the audio.
I might put some funny background music along with it. Like
a ticker of all the episodes that are audio's lost.
Like, I will remember you in the background.
And we're copyright striked.
It was 2 seconds, man. But right now, what I was saying, right now, we should be going through the wisdom literature. Please give us information on how if you like that content. If you do, please comment. We are trying to go into other things just to strike some attention. The wisdom literature is really strong. Please follow along if you can or if you want to. We're not forcing you.
Yeah.
But it's important. But that's all that I'm going to say. I'm not going to push it.
Evan's really excited about it.
I'm very excited. I'm hoping that you're liking the first episode. But yeah. Again, thank you for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing. If you want more, keep on following us.
Yeah.
Comment in the description. But yeah. Anything else?
Not that I can really think of. I mean, thank you.
Don't follow Pandora.
Oh, well, I just throw a cheap shot in there, didn't we?
Yeah, why not? It's Christmas. Time to be cheerful.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Thanks for watching the Filter Podcast.
Yeah. Hope you guys are having a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And remembering the reason for the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
God bless.
God bless. If this is the last time we release before the New Year's, which I hope it's not.
I hope it's not.
But have a Happy New Year's too.
Yeah.
Without further ado, we'll see you on another side.
See you.
Peace.